As the last people join, I'll start with some introductions. My name is John Westcott. I run the Alliances and Marketing Group at Zixi. I am joined today by Natram Dionarain, a Senior Sales Engineer in the Alliances Group, and then our special guest, Vibo John, founder and CEO of Teleos Media. Today we are going to cover a few things. We're going to give a brief introduction to Zixi, and then we're going to spotlight Teleos Media, their technology, some of the cool things that they've done with integrating Zixi into their platform. They will do a demo, and then at the end, we will take questions. So if you have any questions, please put them into the Q&A tab, and we will get them at the end. If we don't have time to get to all the questions, then we have them recorded in the Q&A tab, and along with your emails, so we can follow up individually. So today we're going to detail why this integrated offering with Teleos Media is necessary and what it can do for your business. At Zixi, we work with some of the biggest names in media, and we hear from them the same set of fundamental requirements. Those imperatives for content owners in modern broadcasting are the ability to deliver live video at ultra low latency, flexible architectures that can scale as necessary, the ability to manage and monitor complex multi-vendor workflows across complex networks. High quality video means more viewers, so superior quality of service resulting in quality of experience that retains viewers. And solutions that are simple, flexible, and scalable, yet still affordable. This integration provides a software-based solution for these kind of broadcast media companies, giving them faster startup times with no buffering, ultra low latency in scalable solutions with comprehensive end-to-end control from a central interface. Before I turn it over to Vibo for an introduction of Teleos Media and the demonstration, let me give a brief overview of Zixi. So what is Zixi? Zixi has created the software-defined video platform, the SDVP. It's used by the largest broadcasters and service providers in the world to source, manage, and distribute live linear and live events. Those live use cases are Zixi's two primary use cases. We can run over any IP network using the Zixi protocol and 16 other supported protocols, and are natively integrated into the major cloud providers and edge devices used in the industry. So what are the components of the Zixi SDVP? There are 4 pieces. The first is the base Zixi protocol and other transport protocols that define performance, define what the quality of service is going to be, and how the viewers are going to experience it. That high quality video means more viewers. Platform interoperability means not having to mandate the time and effort of a new SDK development every time you want to add a new device into the workflow. And then once all of these endpoints are connected, signal path continuity. The second is the video solution stack coming from 13 years of Zixi innovation that allows for any configuration, complex deployments across any IP infrastructure, complex live transcoding and video editing, the management of metadata for things like ad insertion and closed captioning, and very importantly, being able to achieve and prove service level agreements. Next is the Zixi-enabled network of hundreds of thousands of worldwide endpoints, hundreds of integrated devices, software platforms, and service providers like Teleos Media that have standardized on Zixi. This community allows for extreme ease of connectivity, speed of deployment, which can now be measured in minutes rather than historical times of weeks or longer, and the ability to start small and extend operations and services as necessary with agile infrastructure and adaptive incremental architecture. The last piece is ZenMaster. It's a unique control plane across all of these connected devices, networks, and environments that operators and engineers can access from anywhere around the world, enabling virtual operations, which is even more important than ever, along with delivering deep audio and video analytics and the ability to manage all of that at maximum scale. So how does the SDVP enable these four components? To start with, Zixi has the best protocol in the industry, utilizing advanced techniques such as dynamic forward error correction and ARQ that result in bandwidth efficiencies to 40%, sub-second worldwide transport latencies, and stream bit rates at 5 gigabits per second. However, we also realize that there are other protocols being used for various other reasons. So we also support 16 additional flavors, including the standards-based RIST, RTMP, HLS, NDI for live production, and most importantly, the ability to switch any of these protocols using the SDVP. Zixi's patent-pending hitless failover is an extension improvement of SMPTE 2022-7 with an industry-leading packet sequence alignment algorithm. This algorithm works much like a DNA sequence alignment, reconstructing the original sequence of IP packets that best creates the original stream fragments, allowing for up to 8 or 9 nines, depending on the engineering architecture. We support multiple codecs with an ever-expanding list, and the mantra you will keep hearing from Zixi, any IP network, any protocol, any cloud. Live transcoding is extraordinarily difficult, but we do it at the highest quality possible, which improves customer adoption, satisfaction, and retention. We also support other features and functionality required from broadcasters, such as recording, time-shifted delivery, auto-slating, and network transport and content quality analytics. So not only can you understand what is happening in your Zixi deployment, but also how it impacts your business. The next is the Zixi enabled network. Zixi has spent a lot of time and effort developing relationships with our now over 200 technology partner ecosystem of vendors who have integrated the SDVP into their devices, software platforms, and standardized on Zixi for their service offerings, giving extensive worldwide interoperability. We have over 700 major broadcast customers in 100 countries, 100,000 endpoints, and over 20,000 channels being managed directly or through market-leading media processing and direct-to-consumer solutions. The last bit is overseeing all of these components is Zixi ZenMaster, which allows for the rapid provisioning, deployment, orchestration, and monitoring of the end-to-end deployment at scale. It allows management of the third parties of the Zixi-enabled network through their own user interfaces. It gives simplicity across these complex multi-supply chains now required by broadcasters. The level of data available and centrally visible through ZenMaster is unmatched, we would say, from anything that the broadcast industry has ever seen. It provides alerting, detailed history, automation of repetitive events, scheduling, extensive reporting, and very importantly, root cause analysis of exactly when and where an error occurred in the deployment. You can tell that if a packet was lost, that it hit an iframe and affect programming, or a SCSI marker and affect an advertisement, and then be able to report on that to management. This is a quick representative subset of Zixi's worldwide customer base, some of the biggest names in the industry. and then a similar subset of a few of the partners of the Zixi ecosystem. Everything in the end-to-end broadcast workflow, from integrations into cameras, encoders, decoders, IRDs, QC platforms. Recently done some cool stuff with forensic watermarking software, editing tools, playout systems, and native integrations into all of the cloud platforms. This is just a reinforcement of the global reach of Zixi. Over 20,000 managed channels, 100,000 instances in over 100 countries, all able to be reached at ultra low latency and measured in milliseconds. And then my last slide before turning it over to Vibo and the Teleos showcase. This is a graphical representation of how all of these elements look in a workflow view. Excuse me. On the left are a few examples of the encode options, as well as the playout partners that we work with. They're all able to deliver video over the managed or unmanaged network of their choice. On the right, you can see the multi-CDN choices that can be made depending on what's working best, depending on where you are in the world, as well as out to edge device that includes things like Samsung TVs, the OTT providers that are our customers, and a variety of endpoint devices that can live in cable head ends and multiple service providers. The bottom right is an interesting new area of live production that we've been working with vendors like Blackbird, Vamond, and EditShare, where live events are being cut, archived, and distributed to a variety of social media options for mobile consumption. And then, of course, over all of this is Zen Master for the easy centralized configuration, deployment, and operations management of the deployment. So with that, we will turn it over to Vibo.
John, thank you very much. And we are very excited about this partnership. Let me share my screen. So we are very excited about the Zixi and Teleos partnership. And with me, I have two of my colleagues who will be joining today. George Afonso, who comes from Move Network, and Joseph Scotty, who is very well known in the syndication industry. He ran Fremantle and Showtime. And what allows us with this partnership is ability to actually take this best of breed solutions where we have the production side of it, live video capture as well as a video authoring, and then taking that technology and then taking Zixi's reach to plug into like increase our reach by 100 folds by giving broadcasters an option with best of the both worlds. What we do, we have a solutions from video capture to video processing to video distribution. On a capture, we can capture any live content from anywhere in any protocol. Processing, we do all sorts of processing which are required in the middle, like adding the bars, or you have like somebody shooting a video on their cell phones and you want to put them in 16:9, so you want to make sure that the aspect ratios are properly matched. Burning the watermarks, any kind of a dedusting or any kind of stitching, logo burning. And on the distribution side, then we can take that content and then distribute to all your partners, OTT delivery, as well as the broadcast delivery. And of course, the most important thing why people consider Teleos Media is that what we figured out is where to do what the best, so that in the entire workflow, we try to do the compression once. And because of that, the quality is maintained and then it is distributed all the way up to the endpoint. And of course, it has all the bells and whistles anybody required for monetization, you know, ad insertion, and creating all sorts of inline and offline triggers for it. TrueLIVE is our live capture workflow, and we can capture video at venue. So we can literally take like a baseband coming out of your production deck. And it's very, very simple. It's a 1U pizza size box that just take out your baseband HD SDI and connect it in the back of it, and it's live. So very, very, we call it a low touch setup. And it's good for the production crew because they don't need to know all the complexities of it. They just want a simple system, power it on, and it goes live. We can capture any signal in cloud. We can handle everything post studio. And even with the today's requirements, like receiving the signal via software like a Zoom or Skype, we can do that. Mobile, we already support WebRTC. Now, once we get the signal, we can provide lots of additional services on top of that. We can provide like archiving. We can convert that on the fly, convert that video into Word object, DVR functionality for OTT requirement, as well as the even the catch-up TV requirement. We can insert all sorts of ad triggering. We can do SCTE35. We can do queue out, queue in for the OTT world. And we can deliver those signaling inline as well as offline. And we do all the broadcast features like inserting the closed captioning and many other services on top of that. And this is something new that we added with the current requirement is ability to create on the fly clipping, where somebody can, while watching, they can create clips and then post this to social media, as well as ability to insert ad breaks at will. So in a live stream, while you're watching, you can insert like 30-second, 60-second, 90-second ad break with the just click of a button. The next product I'm going to introduce you is iBroadcaster. This is our CMS come scheduler come playout. And this is another authoring solution where all of our tools come and they kind of converge together. What this allows you is mix and match your live and VOD content and author network channel. And this channel can be distributed to either OTT as well as a broadcast. And this is the architecture where, it will give you the view of our entire world. SyncFlow is our capture box, which is the TrueLIVE product we talked about. And then once it comes to Teleos Cloud, that's where the iBroadcaster is. And then we can take your content, build the channel, and then distribute that OTT as well as B2B. And with the Zixi's partnership, it allows us to instantly connect with hundreds and hundreds of networks. Let's jump into the demo and let's take a look at it, how easy it is to author a channel and how our products work, and then how we integrate with Zixi. I'm going to end this show. And this is our dashboard. What this is showing is our iBroadcaster product. So first I'm going to start with our TrueLIVE, and you can have a live stream, which is, think about it, it's like a left side of your production where you can watch all your input coming in. And I have a one input coming in, it's a live source. So let's preview that. And you can see that even though it's just a demo reel, we put a clock on there to show that it's actually a live source. Now, all your content, we can ingest your content, and the whole idea here is we use a principle called reuse your content. So it's more like object oriented. Like once your content is ingested into our CMS, we can then you can create like a multiple channels out of it and multiple distribution points out of it. So let's say you want to create a broadcast channel that you want to distribute to your partner, and how easy it is. So just go here, pick a playlist, um, and then name that playlist to, whatever the partner you want to send it to. Let's call it as a demo, and pick the channel where you want to distribute to, and then just add. And you can now construct channels. So before I add more content, I wanted to show you an interesting thing. One of the big requirement is monetization, right? You want to be able to insert the advertisement. So what we found out in the OTT world is the things change very dynamically based on, business KPIs, or all the statistics that you're gathering. You want to play with the ad breaks, and you want to get that magic blend between how much maximum ad you can put in without losing customers. So this platform actually is very ideal for that. So you can just go here and say that, okay, I want to insert the ad break. Um, just I'm doing this for demo for every 2 minutes, and then it splits the content for you, and then you can just go ahead and insert the ads in the middle. And it's very simple drag and drop interface, and you can now author a channel. You can even add a live content to it, and this all can be done even with the schedule. So now I have a live, and then it's add before. So now I can mix match my live content, my advertisement. You can do all sorts of things like a trimming. So you can see what the play duration of this thing is going to be, what time it's going to play. And based on that, you can adjust your playlist. It's a calendar-based scheduler, so it allows you to schedule 365 days in advance. It's got all the metadata normalization, where you can create electronic program guide, and then that program guide can be even delivered to your partners. And if you want to create like a promo channels out of it, like some big event is coming and you want to create like a promo reel and broadcast that, then you can just click a loop here, and then it will keep on looping through the content. So for this demonstration, we already created a channel, and let me show you what the loop we have. So what we are going to do here is we have a bunch of advertisement, live, short videos, and for demonstration purposes, we kept this asset for 30 seconds each. So it's easier to see through the transitions, and you can see that what is going through. So how does this channel play out? So let's look at that. So this is a live source, and then it's going to go from live source to VOD asset, and then it will go to the advertisement, and then it will come back, and then it will keep on rotating through it. Let's watch for like a few seconds, and it will transition. Okay, so now we came out of a live source and it went into a VOD, and you saw the transitions where there are no artifacts. It's a smoothly transitions from one asset to another asset to another asset, and it will keep on doing that. So then once we have this channel authorized, we can take this channel and then make this channel available into your Zixi broadcaster, and we can even automate that process. So I'm going to show you, as you can see right now, I have this HL coming via HLS and RTMP, but I don't have the broadcast ready channel, which is the UDP. So I'm going to publish that channel, and I'm going to fire a process which will do that. So it's like a click of a button, and you can have that channel available to you. So this is a demo channel that we were watching, and now that channel is available. And then once it's in a broadcaster with the Zixi's reach, you can distribute that to anywhere you want. With that, I think that concludes my demo. I'm going to open up for Q&A.
All right, thank you, Vibo. Our first question comes, I think we'll have Natram answer this, is what is auto-slating?
Thanks, John. Auto-slating essentially is Zixi's mechanism for when a stream goes offline, we can automatically switch to a video slate or a static slate. Essentially, where it's a way to not broadcast dead air. So we have the capability of automatically switching to a slate whenever a stream goes offline, and it's just a protection mechanism.
Okay, and next we have a question. Is the Teleos, for Vibo, is the Teleos Media Services API powered?
It is. All of our services are actually driven by API, and it gives a complete flexibility to either call the API, or all our services can call the external API. Like the demo that I showed with Zixi, we are actually triggering the Zixi API to publish our stream into Zixi Broadcaster.
Okay, our next question. Does Teleos Media support splitting and trimming assets?
Yes, we support both. And I showed in the demo how we can split the assets, and we can trim the asset. The nice thing about our system is that it actually keeps your original asset intact. So you can create a multiple incarnation of those assets with adding, we call it as a, virtual breaks, and keep those breaks even, like change on the fly the way you want it.
Thank you, Vibo. Can I reuse the assets I have in a CMS to create multiple channels?
Absolutely. That's the nice thing about our platform, is that once the asset is on our platform, then you can actually use those for multiple purposes. You can create pop-up networks, you can create promo reels, and you can create like a, interest-based channels with a very, very simple click of a button, with a very simple process.
All right, this is a question to both sides. Are there any integrations with Okta from either platform today? Natram, you want to go first?
I'm not sure what Okta is. Is that?
I mean, Vibo.
Yeah, I'm not sure what is he really looking for.
All right. So we will respond to that question via email and further qualify it. Next question for Zixi, Natram. Can Zixi help publish HD to some points and SD to others?
Yes, so I think Vibo mentioned that their platform can format based on endpoints. Zixi also has the capability of transcoding to different endpoints. So essentially, if you have one input coming in, we can transcode it specific to each endpoint.
Back to the Teleos Media team, how is the billing model structured for Teleos Media?
So our billing model is structured two. One is it's a typical cloud model. So you only pay for what you use, and it's a use base. So there is a licensing fee for use of our platform, which is a fixed fee, and then it is based on the number of resources that you use. So it can be a monthly for 24/7, or it could be hourly for event-based requirements.
All right. Next, this is probably for we'll ask Vibo to lead and Natrum to support. Does the integrated offering support broadcast ready SCSI 35 for live streaming and linear live?
Yes, we do the triggering part of it, and we can insert the SCSI 35 inline, as well as we can deliver offline also.
So yeah, for SCSI 35, we recently announced alerting and tracking of SCSI markers. Outside of Teleos Media, if a partner or if a customer wanted to, basically we can track all SCSI markers coming in, and if the following queue in to go back to content is not available, we can alert on that. So essentially, the Zixi platform is able to track every SCSI marker as it comes in, and then the following marker we can certainly alert on. In addition to that, we do transform SCSI markers into queue markers for OTT streams, HLS and Dash. So if the customer is using Zixi to transcode, we will convert those SCSI markers into the appropriate formats for the OTT streams. I just looked up Okta really quickly for that question earlier. We do support single sign-on Zenmaster, and I believe Okta is one of the technologies we support.
All right, thanks, Natrum. We've got a couple questions here in the queue, but if anybody else has anything, please put them into the Q&A tab. We've also launched a poll to see how you would like next steps. Would you like to talk to an expert from either side, or have help with a specific project? So we are also tracking the responses here by email, so we can follow up with you appropriately. Couple of additional questions for Teleos Media. Can I add ad breaks?
Yes, you can definitely add ad breaks, and you can add ad breaks two ways. You can have individual advertisement. You can have the ad breaks that can be converted. You can have in-house ads, as well as you can have the ad breaks that the downstream can replace. So we support both models, and those ad breaks can be individual ads, or they can be ad pods also, where you can say that, okay, now I want an ad pod of 120 seconds. And then that can be then up to ad decision system to decide to serve one ad or multiple ads to create that ad pod.
Right. And unless there's other questions, this could be our last to Natrum. How can I monitor the Zixi delivery of my playout channel?
So with the Zixi Zenmaster platform, we do collect analytics for every channel that is transported, down to every packet being delivered and recovered to each endpoint. So within the platform, you can quickly go into the data and diagnose issues, whether it was yesterday or last week. In a typical engineering fashion, you'd have to recreate issues. With Zenmaster, you can actually go back into the data and look and see how it affected that stream.
All right. Thank you, Natrum. Thank you, Vibo. It does not look like we have any additional questions. So with that, we will thank you for your time this morning, or this afternoon if you were in Europe. We will send out a copy of this recording to everyone that attended. And if there are any further questions, please reach out to Zixi at info@zixi.com, and to Teleos Media, Vibo at teleosmedia.com. We'd like to thank you for your attention today, and we look forward to speaking with everybody again soon.
Thank you, everybody.